Welcome to Xrissart. Thanks for joining me, and in this painting demonstration I will show you how I paint a surreal moon, a lighthouse, the sea, and last but not by no means least, a very interesting dashing gentleman. I've been racking my brains trying to find a suitable title for this painting, and all I could come up with is The Old Man and the Sea. And yes, before you say anything, this is a title of a book by Ernest Hemingway, who is one of the most famous literary writers of our time. This painting was painted and completed on my Patreon channel, and if you would like to paint this and creative subjects like this, head on over to my Patreon channel where I show step-by-step real-time projects. Apart from all of the tutorials, I also provide a reference and line art of a concept that I have created. Links in the description box below. My aim is to always help you to get you to understand various techniques that will give you confidence and to be able to tackle almost any project that you want to paint on your art journey. Okay, so here we go with this project. The art supplies used here are Pan Pastels, Pastel Pencils on 30 by 40 centimeters Pastelmat. I have masked off the areas where I wanted to protect and proceeded to work from the background first. Masking film. And I know I say this all the time, but the masking film, that is, and the kneaded eraser would be the most valuable tools I have in my art box. I used these tools extensively in this project. I painted in most of the sky with the Sofft sponge tool by Pan Pastels, and we'll go back to it, the sky that is, and apply more details when I have more of this painting done. Typically, I would almost always go about, say, 90% of the way, and then come back and make adjustments. Seeing as it's pastel, which is very forgiving, I can go back and adjust areas where it's needed very easily. The next part was to paint the moon, which looks very surreal and larger than life. I used quite a few techniques here to get those small little craters using the pans, bristle brushes and pastel pencils, and painting in the clouds that are wistfully circling and hovering around the moon. Then on to the next part of the project was to paint in the lighthouse. Really enjoyed painting that in. In fact, I see myself painting more lighthouses. They are such imposing and interesting structures to paint. With this one, in this case, the lighthouse, the added thing of painting, I had the added thing of painting in the bricks, and to make them look like they have been there forever. Again, using the pans to approximately 80 to 90% of the way and then proceeding with the pastel pencils for details. The interesting part about the lighthouse area was the lighting, so I was very careful to use my values in the correct places. The next part was the sea. This was not difficult to paint in this case, as the sea is more tranquil. Usually whenever you see a lighthouse, there's always crashing waves all around. So I was very lucky to have this particular reference where the sea was tranquil again. I applied quite a bit of Pan Pastels here and will adjust small waves towards the end of the project with a fine bristle brush and pastel pencils. And now we have left the best till last and painted in this grand old gentleman, which has so much character in his face. I blocked in and layered quite a few base layers with Pan Pastels, working through those wonderful wrinkles, and would say the challenging part was the beard and getting in those long projecting whiskers which takes up half of his stature, and to make it look realistic. I worked through his beard with a bristle brush, applying a whole heap of Pan Pastel layers, and we know how Pastelmat can cope with a ton of layers, so very fortunate there. Once I was happy with my base layers, I continued working with the smallest of bristle brushes to work in some details, and then proceed with pastel pencils to give some polish and punch. In general, I worked with various tools throughout this project, using mostly bristle brushes and Sofft Tools sponges to work the larger areas quickly. I would have to say I had an absolute blast painting this and didn't want it to end. If you enjoyed this video demonstration, please leave a like and share. My name is Chrissy. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, keep on keeping on.